You see the gummy bear, you can't walk by it. You still are looking at it and saying, oh my gosh, I have to have that. Or you're obsessing because you're not having it. That's when you know you probably have a problem. Yeah.
Hi, Maureen Kyle from MaureenKyle.com. I want to show you something. This is a piece of my daughter's birthday cake. It is about a week and a half old, which is gross, but I feel like this is kind of a trophy because last year at this time, there's no way that this piece of cake would have existed. I think I might have eaten, I don't know, half of it, and it was one of those cakes from Costco that is meant to feed 40 people but really feeds about 80. I think I ate most of it. And I was just totally addicted to sugar. Addicted in the way that if there were cookies at work, I would not be able to walk past the table without feeling obligated to eat one. Or have you ever had that feeling after dinner that there's like a gravitational pull towards the cabinet or the refrigerator, wherever the sweets are? That was me. I could not live without sugar. I knew it was my downfall. I knew it was a habit I had to kick. And so I went cold turkey last September. I went through about, I would say, a month of headaches, and I was convinced that I had a brain tumor, but I was sleeping better. My moods were better. My skin felt healthier. I just felt better overall. So with my job, I get a chance to talk to a lot of experts, and one of them is Kristen Kirkpatrick, who is a dietitian with the Wellness Center at the Cleveland Clinic. You may see her on the Today Show as well. She gave me a lot of advice on how to actually kick that sugar habit.
Sugar is a non-nutrient dense food. It's everywhere, and we love it.
What about our energy level too during the day?
Yeah, well, for the initial area of sugar, when you have this, you feel that boost. You feel this quick rise of blood sugar, and you feel energized. But then that rise then falls, and so once you get into that fall state, you really are kind of in the dumps, and you're feeling like, okay, where can I get more sugar? Where can I get my next fix? And so really can sap energy levels pretty significantly.
So when somebody's like truly addicted, what are some of the signs that they are just going to have a hard time giving up sugar?
Yeah, I had a patient once, and she was this major sugar addicted patient, and she told me that she would be driving down Cedar Road, and all of a sudden she would find herself just pulling into an ice cream shop. And she said, I don't even remember doing it. I just was pulling in there. She would have gummy bears in her glove compartment. So a lot of times you will see people that have their fix readily available. And that's a really clear sign of addiction and just having too much of it. So, I mean, you know, again, most people know if they're addicted. Right? So it's like you see the gummy bear, you can't walk by it. You still are looking at it and saying, oh my gosh, I have to have that. Or you're obsessing because you're not having it. That's when you know you probably have a problem.
Yeah. So what do you do? Do you go cold turkey? Do you like step down?
Yeah, it depends on your personality. I think the most important thing with sugar addiction and how you treat it is, number one, don't replace real sugar with artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners are actually more sweet. They take away that sensitivity you have on your taste buds. And so all of a sudden the apple isn't sweet enough for you anymore. The strawberry, you need to add more artificial sweetener on it. And so it really draws you more towards the real thing eventually. And we know that there's clear other health adverse reactions that can have with artificial sweeteners, weight gain, things of that nature. And so you don't want to say, okay, I'm off of sugar, so now I'm on to be like on sucralose or something like that. That's one key. The other is to get enough sleep. So we really do minimize how important sleep is to our appetite and our cravings. And so if you're craving sugar and you don't get enough sleep, your digestive hormones will work against you. It will keep that craving roaring. It will make you want it. But if you get enough sleep, you have more of an ability to kind of fight against it. That's another big one. You know, I always say, like, watch out what you're drinking when you have a sugar addiction, because a lot of times the diet cola is the hardest thing to give up. And so again, yes, you don't want one with artificial sweeteners. Today, thankfully, there's a lot of options that we have, that you have just a little bit of fruit juice in it, or you have a small amount of something real where you can still get something that would be satisfying, most people are saying, I can't just go to water. So you can go to tea, you can go to things like that. That's another tough one. Getting sugar out of your coffee in the morning is going to be a big one for sugar addictive patients. So again, not relying on those creamers that have tons and tons of sugar and trans fats. Instead, go with an almond milk or something of that. Your personality is going to dictate if you go cold turkey. So for a lot of my patients that have severe sugar addictions, I'll tell them keep healthy snacks on hand that still open up those endorphins, those serotonin receptors and things like that. So having string cheese or having something like nuts or lentils, that may still give you a boost of energy, may make you feel good without having the sugar boost to it as well. It's really tough to do it.
Might have been you who told me replace that when you are having that craving, have protein.
Yeah, protein, especially in the form of like whey protein. That's why I said string cheese is a good option. Lentils is a good option. But things that, again, make you feel fuller, make you feel satisfied, even if it's fat, right? So fat is very satisfying. So if it's like having some nuts as opposed to a piece of licorice, that's a much better route.
So remember, I said it took me about a month of headaches and just weaning myself off of sugar. Kristen says it's a different time frame for anybody. Everybody's different depending on how addicted you are. So those are a few tips that could help you at least get started. Let me know if they work for you. Tell me if you have, any advice for anybody who wants to kick the sugar habit. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.